right, good evening and welcome. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. This evening we'll be recognizing Newport student athletes, but not only student athletes, we'll be recognizing seniors more importantly. The coaches will get their chance. We'll also be talking about community members and everything that what they do for us in their efforts and service and support of our Greyhounds this year. Before we eat, I would like our FCA huddle captain O'Shea Pruitt to come lead us in a word of prayer before we eat.
Let us pray. Wait, is this one it? Okay. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for getting us all here safely tonight. Thank you for letting us join together for friendship and fellowship. We appreciate the support you have given us throughout this year as we have traveled together, competed in contests, worked to obtain our goals, and strengthen our abilities as leaders. Please be with us and our families and friends as we venture into a new year of learning and service. Bless this food that has been grown and prepared for us so that we may better serve you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Okay, starting with coaches first, then players. We can start lining up to eat. Make sure Miss Amy Driver has your ticket because that's how I'm going to account for all the plates that we eat tonight. Okay? All right, let's go. All right, I realize that we're still eating, and that's fine. That's the idea. So continue to eat. Do what you got to do. Also, I want to draw your attention to the TVs. Ruth Banta put together a slideshow of all the pictures. So do make sure that you look at those as we go throughout the night. I have two things that I have to confess before we get started. I got to publicly apologize to First Sergeant Daniel. I keep on putting his name as Daniels on here, and he reminded me this is just a template I've been using for the last couple of years, so I want to publicly apologize to him. It's not Daniels, it's Daniel. And then also I want to apologize for track. Track is not here with us tonight. We have 5 student athletes that are competing in Prescott tonight that are not with us. And I've got some updates I'll share as we go throughout the program tonight, but they are not here, not done intentionally. Every year this falls on the same day, it seems like. But track will not be here, so when you see those in your program, we're just going to skip right over them. All right? And you know how we do this. We'll start. You've got it in your program, the list of the awards. And then when one's done, the next one will just come right up and go with their award. Okay? So up first, we have Coach Gates with tennis.
Hey, I appreciate the warm welcome tonight. So good to be here. Appreciate all the faculty and the administration and fellow coaches and all the players in the house. We appreciate you being here as well. When I got hired on as the head basketball coach, Coach Hinesley informed me that I would also have fall tennis and then winter basketball. And I was excited about it because I love tennis. I've played it since I was 13, so it just seemed to fit me perfectly. Played it recreationally and played intramurals in college. And here at Newport, we have great courts and great tennis facility. And I've played on some sketchy ones before, but we have some real good ones. I've played on some courts before where you had to stick a stick in the middle of the net to prop it up to proper height. And, concrete, asphalt, just you name it. But we've got good facility here. And this year I've had the opportunity to coach 8 players, 4 girls and 4 boys on the tennis team that I want to recognize at this time. If they're here, I'm going to ask them to stand. Let's start with the girls' tennis team. We had Alyssa Glenn, J.C. Poplowski, Caitlin Mueller, and Bessie Hatfield. All right, and so Alyssa is the only one in the house. I want you to remain standing, Alyssa, because she's very special and very special to us. Because this is not the first year she's played tennis, but I had a few that was the first time they picked up a racket and played, but I was proud that they came out. Alyssa Glenn is our only senior also, and Alyssa Glenn, you get our Outstanding Senior Award. Okay, now we have the gentlemen on the tennis team. We had four boys on the tennis team, and I want to recognize them at this time as well. I think we only have two of the four here, but if you're here, stand please. DeCambrian King, Scott Ashatino, Dawson Van Winkle, and Darren Mann. Y'all give them a hand if you would. Yeah. You guys can be seated. Real quickly, I do want to say that tennis is an individual sport, but it's also a team sport when you play doubles. And Scott and Cam played doubles this year, and Dawson and Darren also played doubles and really competed at a high level against some good teams. We played against Riverview, Cedar Ridge, Harding Academy. We played against Ridgefield Christian and competed in the district tournament over at Jonesboro. And Dawson and Darren won their first round match, made it to the second round, and never really played before. So we're so proud of them. My last award that I want to mention, and then I'll take my seat, is our senior outstanding tennis player. And we only have one, but he's our outstanding tennis player this year, and that is DeCambrian King.
For golf this year, there were no seniors, but I did want to spend a minute to recognize some of the great kids that we had that came out and played golf. I don't know how many of them are here tonight. We had one returner, Jonathan Breckenridge, and so this was his third year to play. Also, first-time golfers, Chase Prince and Mason Rudd and Emily Lucas. Emily was a first-year golfer, and she also qualified for state this year, so good things to come.
All right, time for the rifle team, JRTC. First, I want to thank all the athletes themselves for representing the school and the city of Newport, our coaches and the faculty, and most of all the parents, because without your support, we don't get much done here. And after the award ceremony tonight, Dalton Bennett has offered to do a push-up exhibition before he goes to Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Thank you, Dalton. Appreciate that. Our seniors for the rifle team. Remember, rifle team, we had two categories. We had sporter class and we had precision class. Our seniors this year are Ann Reynolds, Chase Sutterfield, and Nick Ladd. Please come forward. Now, a little bit about these three, starting with Ann, ladies first. Her nickname is Trumpet. Not because she plays in the band like it, but sometimes she shoots like she's playing a trumpet. Here, there, and everywhere. But when it counts, she won state. Chance, he's our up and down guy. He floats from one team to the other. And he's going to be a two-time state champion. He won sporter last year, and he hit precision again this year. Nick, well, Nick's pretty simple. Nick, you need to shave, and then go get him. He smiles and goes out there and just shoots up a storm. Can't ask for any better than that. Now, this is our fourth year in a row that we won a state championship. 3 for precision class and 1 for sporter class. Precision team this year beat the mighty Fort Smith Northside by 78 points. That's a whooping. Our other team members, Nick Ladd and Jamelia Wheeler, if you would stand, please. Our senior sports award this year for the sporter class, for the women's class, is going to be Trumpet Reynolds, Ann Reynolds. supporter class for the men, Chance Sutterfield. We only had one for the precision class, and that's Mr. Beard himself, Nick Ladd. Now, like I was telling you, this is our 4th year in a row we've won a state championship. So if Lex and Jammer would come up, please. Jamelia Wheeler and Lex Young. This is a unique year for us. We have 5 state champions this year from Newport, 4 in precision class, and Ann is the individual sporter class state champion. Ann shot a score of 534 out of 600. Jammer shot a score of 558. Chance is 551. Lex a 547. And Nick a 545. And we didn't finish first in precision individually, but for individual awards, Jammer got 2nd overall. Chance was 3rd overall. Lex was 4th overall. And Nick was 5th overall, so we shut Fort Smith out pretty good. Again, back to the whooping. In the individual awards for these people during the state championship, Jammer finished 3rd in standing, 3rd in kneeling. Chance finished 2nd in prone. Lex finished 3rd in prone, 2nd in kneeling. Nick finished 1st in kneeling, and Ann finished 1st in standing. Probably her most difficult position. With that being said, they get the honor of being state champions and having state championship rings. I meant to tell them about my post-it notes too, but I get over it. Special thanks to the seniors for all the post-it notes you left around school. I needed them.
Okay, my name is Brittany Long, and I'm the proud coach and sponsor of the NHS Varsity Cheerleaders. Ladies, when I call your name, would you please stand and be recognized as a member of the 2016-2017 NHS Varsity Cheerleading Squad? Sophomores are Jataria Landfair and Jillian Turner. Junior, Emma Jackson. And last, but certainly not least, my seniors. Emily Beard. Co-captain, Maddie Driver. Sierra Martin. Bailey Phillips. Captain, Lacey Schultz. And Bree Wade. Ladies, you can be seated. I still remember seeing some of these beautiful young ladies as 4th and 5th graders asking if they could be cheerleaders on the football field. Of course, their mothers and their friends were all excited because of their desire to participate in this activity. But I don't think any of them knew at the time the importance that cheerleading was going to be for them. Despite what some believe, as these young ladies will tell you, cheerleading is a sport. And like most athletics, there are many ups and downs to the sport. There were many times where each girl was wanting to throw their pom-poms in and just call it a day. And there were other times where they never wanted to leave the football field or the mat. These young ladies have also gained lifelong friendships throughout this sport. If you ask any high school senior that played any sport, the last game or meet or competition is always the saddest. And on the last day of cheerleading, some of these cried many, many tears. There were no longer Lacey, Maddie, Bree, Bailey, Emily, and Sierra, the cheerleaders. Now, they're just Lacey, Maddie, Bree, Bailey, Emily, and Sierra. They're not cheerleaders anymore. As I look back on these young ladies and their cheerleading careers, I don't only think about the camp competitions they won, the stunts that they hit, or the routines that they performed. I think about all of the life lessons learned from the sport itself. So to my seniors, I want you to hear all of the thanks that you owe to cheerleading itself. So cheerleading, thank you for teaching them to trust, for teaching them patience and to be a leader, for teaching them dedication and how to be outgoing, for teaching them to manage their time and teamwork, for teaching them to get right back up even if they did just get kicked in the face, for teaching them how to spell, especially the words defense and offense, for all those relationships and friendships that they've gained, for letting them escape from the world for just a little while, for all those bows and all the glitter, for teaching them to smile, for those football Friday night lights and the echoes in the gym, and most importantly, for giving them a second family. Will my 6 seniors please come forward? These 6 beautiful young ladies are true examples of amazing cheerleaders. All of them hold a unique attitude and personality that created the terrific squad that we had. Our team would not have been successful without the presence of all 6 of them. To all of you, I want to thank you for wearing our uniforms proudly and for representing Newport High School. I'm very proud of everything that you've accomplished as cheerleaders. However, your time at Newport High School and as a cheerleader has come to an end. You'll no longer have those long practices, those home-cooked meals, those crazy bus rides, the loud gyms, or football Friday nights. You're now getting ready to embark on a new journey, opening a new chapter in your own book. So remember, edit as you go and enjoy the little things in life. When your name is called, Emma, Jataria, or Jill will present you with your final senior gift for cheerleading. Emily Beard is not here tonight. Miss Maddie Driver. Sierra Martin. Bailey Phillips. Lacey Schultz. And Bree Wade. So to my cheerleaders, there's only 2 other things that we have on our to-do list for this year. The first thing is to announce the senior award, and the last thing is to get your last Grambling you'll ever have. So, this year's senior award was selected by the team, and it goes to Miss Lacey Schultz.
Good evening, everyone. I am indeed honored to be here because I am such a non-athlete, it's unbelievable. I can't bounce a basketball, I can't dance, I'm called a rhythmless nation, but I am the sponsor of the Newport Whippets. So whenever I took on this endeavor, I was like, how am I going to do this? because I can't teach them to dance, and that's where Miss Naisha Greer stepped in, and she is the dance coach. But this 2016 year with the Whippets dance team was truly an extraordinary and amazing journey. This group patiently cooperated with the non-athletes such as myself, and once again, Miss Naisha Greer as their dance coach. These lovely ladies, and I'm going to ask them to come forward, please. I have 2 juniors, which are Christina Murphy, which she's not here, Adrian Ross, 3 sophomores, Savannah Scuddermore, Sequoia King, Chandrea Wheeler, and Christina was our captain, and Chandrea is the co-captain, Kayla Fight, who's the choreographer, Hilda Price, who's an 8th grader, Kayla, a 9th grader, and Tiana White, who's not here, she's a 7th grader. These girls took me on such an amazing journey. I carefully took into consideration how I would relate to you the characteristics of this squad and decided to utilize the word Whippet as an acronym to describe the NHS Whippet dance team. Wonderful, hardworking, intelligent, positive people that are exceptionally talented. Our girls dance with heart and dedication, and we were so honored to be a part of such an amazing group of young ladies. Looking forward to seeing you show out in 2017-2018 school year. Thank you. These are our girls. Since we didn't have any seniors, I don't have a senior award, and once again, they are an amazing group of girls, and it was truly a privilege to be their sponsor this year. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to skip over track in your program, although I think Coach Hinsley did just get a text that Coach Reynolds finished second in the hospitality room. Anyway, let me get the softball team to come up here and stand in front. They look a lot better than I do, so you can stare at them. Get the seniors in the middle if I can. Okay, first let me thank just a few people. I want to thank Johnny Long for getting the fields ready for us all season. He makes it very easy for coaches to do their jobs when it comes to baseball and softball. I want to thank our school board and administration for everything they do for us and all our athletic teams. I want to thank Alton Walker and Miss Banta for taking pictures during the season for us and everything that they do. Zach Hoyt for always being there for the players and the coaches, whether it's wrapping ankles, scouting the other teams for us, driving the bus, keeping the scorebook, numerous other things. He's always there. I want to thank Porter Doyle for allowing his mom to be such a great help. And I appreciate everything that Coach Doyle does for this team. Having coached during the times when my kids were small and young, I know that it's hard to get everything done. At least that's what my wife told me every time I came home late from a ball game or a practice. So I appreciate everything she does. That brings me to my wife and my kids, who I appreciate and thank so much for letting me do what I love to do every day. And last but not least, I want to thank the parents of our players for letting us coach your kids. It's truly been an honor. These young ladies worked really hard this season. Anytime you get a new coach, there's an adjustment period. We started practice in January, even though I didn't actually get all of them till about a week and a half before the season started. They learned quickly and did a really good job, progressed through the year, did some really good things on the field. We had a very interesting season. Some first. I've coached for 21 years now, and 14 of those in softball, and I coached in my first blizzard. Our first game of the year, it snowed the entire game. That's definitely a first for me. These young ladies went to a tournament in Brooklyn, beat 2 4A teams on their way to the finals. We ended up runners-up in that tournament. They beat Southside for the first time, which was really nice. They beat Cave City, which is the school that I came from, and I'm not going to lie, that was really nice too. We finished 4th in the conference. And this is a conference that the last 4 state champions have come from, so and it's not all the same team. So it's a very, very competitive conference, and we were very competitive in almost all our games. And even though we had some frustrating moments during the years, these ladies stuck together and played hard through the last out. So I'm very proud of them. I want to recognize our seniors really quick. Jaden Brown was our manager. Best manager ever. Hannah Hembry. Bree Wade. Lacey Schultz. Maddie Driver. And Keisha Murphy. I'm very proud of these seniors and the effort they gave this season. The leadership and the good attitudes that they showed are something we can definitely build on in the future. The underclassmen on the team now have a goal to work towards and to try to become even better. I think Coach may even have a small gift for our seniors real quick. Bailey Phillips. I said that. Oh, I skipped it. I'm sorry. She's going to be really mad at me. It's a good thing she's done Friday, or I'd have to listen to that for 3 weeks. I'm sorry, Bailey. Yes. You want to come around? Coach is going to read it real quick. This is actually dirt from the field for you. It's your positions. So I'm gonna let her read this really quick.
So I got a very subtle hint that these might be appreciated on Facebook. So I went out and I made them. But the only difference is I put it in my own words. So it says it says something differently than what was posted. And it says, "This dirt has been your life. It's where you've been down and ready for a ball. It's where you've put body, mind, sweat, and blood into every game. This dirt comes from the field where you've shed tears, both happy and sad. It's where you've made memories. It's where you learned to face adversity. It's where you've walked inning after inning to make impossible things possible. This dirt is you, forever able to mold to fit any situation. To some, it may just be dirt, but to you, it's everything. Now, call it up one last time. Hounds on 3.
Hey, let me give this to you real quick. So you can hand it to me. Thank you. We also had 2 young ladies make all conference. They happen to also have the 2 highest batting averages on the team. That's Keisha Murphy and Maddie Driver. Our senior award goes to a young lady that plays a very difficult position, does it with a great attitude, always there, willing to do whatever she could to make us better, worked with younger players, very reliable, fun to be around. And that player is Maddie Driver. Thank you, ladies.
I thought you were going to yell.
No, get one last time.
Yeah, I thought you were
One last yell. Yeah, we didn't do it.
All right. First of all, I just want to thank you guys. This is my first year here in Newport, and each and every one of you have made this transition easy for me and my family. A lot of things are different from where I was but one thing that I love about it is everybody's willing to chip in and help you out, and it's a family-oriented atmosphere, and that means a lot to me. First, I'd like to thank the administrators, Ms. Kane, Ms. Thaxton, my principal, and all the teachers that worked with us through this season, letting us get out early. Mr. Ball for getting us the buses ready so that we can go on those away trips. I want to thank Mr. Long and the city for getting the fields ready. I know a couple of those days we were a little iffy on if we were going to get out there and do it, but they got the fields ready, and we thank them for it. I want to thank the drivers and Coach Gates. They did the scoreboard for us a few times during the games. And I don't know about you, but Deshaun Anderson really, really thanks you guys, because if it wasn't for y'all, he'd be up there. I'd like to thank Coach Hinsley. He's a big supporter and a mentor to me. He really helped me out through the process, calling him up, getting direction. Kicked my rear end a few times on things that I'd done, but he was there to pick me up and help push me along. He's a great leader, and I thank you for everything that you've done. I'd like to thank Coach McGee. I'm only as good as my assistant because he's got to be out there with me, and he helped me out tremendously. There was a few days where I had sick kids, and he took over practice, but he was there the whole time, no matter how long it was or how cold it was or how wet it was, and he would always want to go home early, and I say, no, we got to keep going. But he busted it through, and he did a great job. And, Coach, I thank you for all the work that you did, and I appreciate it. Next on the list is, if you are a coach's spouse, then you know what I'm fixing to say, what I'm talking about, because during the season, you are a single parent. We're not there. I know my wife, she thinks it's all her. And Miss McGee, Emily McGee, I just want to thank you guys for your support and helping us, let us do what we love. Because especially when you got kids or in a house, that can be a very difficult time. You feel like you're all alone, and the only time you see them is through a fence or on a field during that time. But we do appreciate and we love you guys for all that you put up with us and allowing us to do what we love. Thank the parents for putting up with me. I know there's a lot of times you're sitting on the other side of the fence and you're going, I'd have done this. And there's a lot of times when I drive home after a game of practice that I was saying I should have done this. So you're not alone. But I thank you guys for showing up and supporting us throughout the season and helping us along. Lastly, I want to thank my players. I know I was hard on you sometimes, and you probably called me worse names than other people have to my face. But you came up every day, you showed up, and you busted your tail. And for that, I'm very proud of you. And I hope, if nothing else, that you got out of it is how to be a man and own up to your responsibilities. And when times get rough and hard, you keep trucking through it. You don't quit. You don't walk away. My seniors, Jackson, Aaron, Landon, and Deshaun, thank you for your leadership. I told the guys, I don't care about the record. Wins and losses don't mean anything. They'll take care of themselves through time. What I care about is us growing and laying a foundation for the future so there's something that you can look back on. And I told these guys this the last game against Cedar Ridge, and if you missed that game, it was not very good at the very end, but it was a great game. I'm going to remember that for the rest of my life. But I told them that those guys, when they come back in 10 years or so and they see that we're winning and we're bringing home championships and trophies, it was because of them. They started it. They laid the foundation. And for that, I thank you. And it's something that you should be proud of for the rest of your life. With that being said, talking with Coach McGee and stuff, we picked our outstanding senior. This is a guy that showed up every day, busted his tail, and he was there to help me with the players when I needed them and do stuff. We picked out Landon Phillips.
Hello. This group of players and seniors was an outstanding group. They showed dedication, sportsmanship, and were a great group of young ladies to coach. We had an outstanding season. We were 23-7 and made it to the second round of the state tournament. I would like to thank the Booster Club, administration, parents, players, and my score table keepers, because y'all, it's like pulling teeth to get people to work the scoreboard for the volleyball, because it's very difficult. And my assistant coach, Dole. Will my seniors please come forward? Macy Grady, Della Bovan, Eileen Keller, and Akeisha Murphy. These young ladies were awesome. I've known them since they were little, and this group's tough to lose. I've seen them grow up to be beautiful young ladies. Eileen, Della, and Akeisha were all conference with also a 10th grader, Chloe Hardaway. Della and Akeisha were also all-state. Akeisha Murphy was also all-state tournament, and she has also been selected to play in the All-Star game in June at the AAA conference. That's a first. That is a first for Newport Lady Greyhounds to have somebody play in the state tournament or the All-Star game. So we're really excited. So please go watch her. And she's also signed at Central Baptist College in Conway. So if you get a chance, she'll be playing there this fall. Let's see. The Outstanding Senior Award is voted by the players, and it is given to Della Bovan. Della is at the state track tournament right now, so she is not here. So we're just going to take that on behalf of her. I also have Akeisha's AAA All-State plaque.
Girls basketball, I'm going to start with calling my seniors out, and I'd like them to come up front, please. Kiesha Roddy, Alicia Moore, LaShira Childress, Kiaja Moreland, Akeisha Murphy, Jada Walton, Yasmin Fryer, who's also at the track meet, Jaden Brown, and Lacey Schultz. Okay, before I announce the senior award, I want to thank my assistant coach, because I think I've done this for 9 years, and every year I've forgotten to thank her. And this year she was on maternity leave, and it really makes you realize how much you appreciate them and how much you need to tell them that you appreciate them. So thank you, Coach Martin. I also wanted to have Passion up here, but I don't think she's here tonight. Passion didn't come. Passion has been she's also a senior and has been my manager for 3 years, and she is great. I would be, where's Passion? Where's Passion? I'd yell at her in the gym, and I'd say, Passion, I need those water balls ready. Coach, they're ready. Okay, thank you. By the end of the 3rd year, she knew what my list was and had it ready before I could even holler at her. So I wanted to tell her thank you, too. What a great group of seniors I have here. This year, my senior award goes to Jada Walton. One more thing that I forgot to mention was that Akeisha and Yasmin got all conference as well.
Well, as many of you know, basketball is a game of constant motion, fast pace, changing directions. You got to be in good shape. You got to be in great condition to compete at a high level for 4 quarters. And if you're not, it'll affect every aspect of the game. It will affect your shooting because you don't have your legs in the 4th quarter. It'll affect free throw shooting, decision making. And so one of the foundational philosophies that I have is to make sure that the guys are in great running shape, at least be able to run the floor for 4 quarters. And there was one game that this year, I think we went in triple overtime against Heber Springs, and you talk about worn out. Those guys were worn out, and I'll never forget that game. I was so proud of the guys this year. We had 16 players on the team starting off the year, and then at the end of the year we had 12 to finish. And I still think that that's great numbers, and I was very impressed that the guys were able to take coaching and take the running and take the work that we put into it. And this was our rapport year. I tell Coach Gooden, I said, my first year here, we're not going to lay the hammer down too hard. I want to build rapport. I want to build rapport with the kids, and I want them to like basketball and want to stay. And I told him, I said, and then we'll lay the hammer down next year and keep building from there. But we're going to build from the ground. I think that's very, very important. And these guys that I've had this year for the last few years have had to get used to different coaches and different philosophies. And for the most part, my philosophy changed when it come to this team, for the senior high team, because when I came to Newport this year, at the beginning of the year, I had an interview, one of the football games with Kevin, and he asked me about my style of play. And I told him, man, I'll be honest with you, I like the D'Antoni style. I like to go up and down quick. I like to press, rebound, kick it out, and I think we've got the athletes to do it. But then after a few games, my mind started changing. And I told Coach Hinesley at the end of the year when we spoke, I said I felt like there were some things that they needed to know first before we could play that style. They needed to be able to learn to execute an offense, to make good decisions, to get the ball to the right guy's hands. And those type of things take time. And but they certainly started to do that. Before the end of the year, we started running a lot of set plays and continuity offenses. And then my defense philosophy changed. I wanted to play man-to-man from the gate, man-to-man. And our guys coming from football was fouling out. And we was putting guys on the line, and they were hitting free throws. And I said real quick to my assistant, we're going to have to change this because key players are getting in foul trouble and having to sit, and it's hurting us. So we went to zone defense, and that worked for a while until we played sharp shooting teams. So we had to switch back and forth a lot through the year. And then they just had to learn how to discipline themselves on defense. But I'm proud of these guys. Again, we were in a lot of games. We lost a lot of games this year, but we were in a lot of games, single-digit losses right there, heartbreakers. And I was proud that they kept fighting. They could have very easily gave up and quit. And for 99% of the season, we didn't. We pressed on. So I'm proud of that. I want to recognize the players at this time, and if the guys are here, these 12 that finished out the year, you guys come forward. I think the other coaches have been bringing you forward, so I don't want you to miss out on that opportunity. Laurel Hardiman, Tydrell Fryer, Larry Nicholson, Christian Rucker, Scott Ashatino, Darrell Hardiman, Ricky Stewart, DeCambrian King, Cash Forrester, Julius Clark, Darren Mann, Dawson Van Winkle. Give these guys a hand, would you? Yeah, we only have 3 seniors that finished out the year that I want to highlight tonight. And first of all, DeCambrian King and Ricky Stewart and Laurel were our 3 seniors that are going to be leaving us. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'd love to have these guys for another 3 years. And some of you that watched us, you could agree. I feel like Ricky Stewart was just starting to play ball. I mean, he didn't play last year, and then I had him this year, and I knew he had a lot of shooting ability. Just smooth Ricky out there on the floor. I was proud to have, and you got to have guys like Ricky, and not only talented but very respectful. Yes, sir. No, sir. That's the type of guy he is. A lot of character in Ricky. I'm very proud of him. And then DeCambrian King, another guy that I think, man, he's just looked better when we're playing 21. after season. He's playing hard and hitting shots I didn't think he could hit. But the deal is that this first year with these guys who are seniors, you know, they get one shot to impress me, one shot to show me what they got, 1 year, and that's it. And then they're moving on. So that's tough. And I always say that with seniors. I really wish I had more time. But both of these guys here just class guys, and I appreciate them so much. I know the team does as well. This year we did have an outstanding senior award that most of all of our guys agreed that this player was really our go-to guy. He's a senior again. Didn't have a whole lot of time with him either, and he was also all conference this year in this conference, and that's Laurel Hardiman. All right, I want to also say that we only lose 3 seniors, so we've got a lot to build with. And these guys here, I just want them to stay with it. And, you know, we want the football team to go as far as they can. This year they went, and then Friday night was it, and we played on a Monday. So it was wild trying to get everything together real quick. You know how it is, but they scrambled, they worked hard, and I'm proud of them. I want to say I appreciate them. I appreciate Coach Good, my assistant, Coach Hinsley, who has been a great athletic director for me and really working well with me, and that's a big plus, that the basketball and the football coach can work well together and share the athletes. I appreciate the coaching staff. You know, the girls coach, Coach McGuire, every day we work together, but we also bounce stuff off each other constantly about the game and strategy, talking basketball, and that's very important for a coach to have. NHS faculty and staff, the admin, the boosters, we appreciate them so much. Cheerleading, whippets, parents, fans, all volunteer help. I don't want to miss out anybody. And since my main man, Coach Smith, gave a shout-out to his family, I got to give a shout-out to my family too. Appreciate my family as well. Give these guys another hand.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready for him to just bust out a preaching. Amen. All right, real quick, I do have some track updates. Coach Roland, they just left Prescott. They're on their way home, so we wish them safe travels. Miss Della Bovan got 7th in the long jump in the state. Yaz got 7th in the state triple jump, and the 4x1 relay got 6th place. So they represented us well, and they're on their way back, so be thinking about them. Football is where we're at on your program. I have thank yous as well. We always thank the administration just because of letting us do what we do. You know, and the going thing has been thanking each other, and I really do thank the coaches and their families. I thank mine more than anything, just because of, like they were talking about, what we have to put our spouses, the position we got to put them in with small children. And that's what I tell them. I know I'm talking about football, but I'm going to go out and say that our women coaches, I don't see how they do what they do, because that's got to be one of the toughest jobs ever. So, you know, I know we're talking about football right now, but I do appreciate everything y'all do, because that is very difficult, and it needs to be said publicly. So thank you for that. I want to also thank cheer, whippet, and band. The coolest experience in my coaching career was this year. And I'm not going to lie, I forgot. Look at that guy. Alton Walker, baby. I'll get to that guy later. Where was I? No, the coolest experience I had, I can't remember what game it was, and John, you can help me with this. We got back from a football game. Was it Harding? It was about 11:30. Cheer, whippet, and the band were waiting on us in the parking lot when we got home. And when all the boys got off the bus, y'all remember that? The band was playing the fight song, the cheer was out, and I know you're shaking your head. That was the coolest experience in my coaching career, because it was such a just the game was so exciting. And then when we got home, because a lot of times when we get home, we're just dragging stuff off the bus, we're half asleep. And just to get off the bus and have that excitement again was the coolest thing ever. And, you know, we haven't really talked about it a lot, but it's one of the things that we talk about you're never going to forget. So I can't say enough to the cheer, whippets, and band. I know Mr. Strasburg's not here, but hey, that was the coolest thing ever. Kevin and the press box crew, you know, I appreciate what they do in not only calling the game but promoting the kids like they do. And I do appreciate that, Kevin, you and your guys. She's not here. I don't think she is. But Miss Donna McGee, she is my concession stand right-hand man and one man. And I can't thank her enough because I've put her in some binds, and she just gets it done. And then I know Miss Mack knows Miss McGee. She is she's hard to work with sometimes, but she is the hardest working woman that I have ever been around. And all the volunteers that helped in the concession stand, I want to publicly thank you guys too. Janice Johnson, where you at? Stand up. I think Miss Janice called me her boyfriend during football season. She's just my problem solver. Anytime that I needed a gate worker, anytime that I needed an authority figure, she puts these kids in line every day. And so, Miss Johnson, I want to thank you for all that you do because me and her talked on a daily basis during football season. And she kept everything rolling. Zach Hoyt, I know you're back there. I'm not going to make you stand up. You might be holding a kid. I don't know. But Zach Hoyt is our athletic trainer. The least amount of his job is athletic training. He tapes. He does everything. He drags the field. He's done everything that we can think of, and there's not one thing that I haven't asked him to do, and he's not done it as full speed as he can. So, Zach, you and your family, I do appreciate what y'all do. Megan Doyle, I know you're here. I'm not going to make you stand. I ain't going to embarrass you. I ought to. But I want to thank her because she put a lot of long hours and did a lot with the Booster Club. And a lot of what we get is school money, but a lot of the stuff that you guys don't know we have is because of the money that Booster Club has raised because of that woman and the things that she does in her off time that gets you what you want. So I do thank everybody that's a Booster Club member, and then also Megan Doyle. The chain gangs, because I just ask and they come. Couldn't have a game without them. David, you and your Cable 15, you know, it's like I said about Kevin, we promote the athletes, and I love what you guys do. River Country, same thing. And then the fans and supporters that come out. We couldn't these kids play a lot harder, obviously, when you're in front and watching them, so I do appreciate that. Tech Science ladies, stand up. It's not an option. My job is to embarrass as many people tonight as I can. Why did I make those girls stand? I've been here 10 years, and I've never been been a part of as much school spirit as I had this year. Now we had a good year this year, but the school spirit that they promoted over at the Tech Science building, there was a little bit of magic during the fall around the school because of football, but mainly because of all the orange and black and all the creative stuff. They had a banner every week that hung in the Tech Science building on the trophy case as soon as you come in. And every week I'd wait to see what kind of, I don't know who came up with that, probably Pinterest. Was that Nikki? Hey, that was the coolest stuff that I'd ever seen. So, girls, I can't thank y'all enough for the school spirit and the pride that you've showed. Because when the kids see us doing stuff like that, it really means a lot. So I appreciate you, girls. All right. If you were a member of our football team this past year, please stand. All right, please sit. Y'all didn't know this was Coach Hounsey Power Hour, did you? I'm up here for a while. I don't think I have to explain to y'all how truly a special year this was to be a Greyhound. Like I said, this is my 10th year here, and it's probably one of the most magical years that since I've been here. Not just because of how competitive we were, but for the team we had. I always heard about the orange magic in the helmets, and never really experienced it till this year. And you guys that were standing are the reason why we experienced that magic. So the coaches that we get too much credit for the wins and too much credit for the losses, right, Coach Bradley? But you guys are the reason why we love what we do, and I appreciate you every day for the sacrifices that you put in every day. Because sometimes I've been told that I'm hard to work with, and for you guys to come every day and play as hard as you did and represent our town and our team like you did, I can't thank you enough. Leadership. I talked about sacrifice, but also I have to talk about leadership. When we come in the spring to start ball, like we're going to start this Monday, unbelievable leadership from our seniors. I remember Jay Cright, Deshaun Anderson, Quavion, all those guys, all the seniors that I'm going to show you in a little bit. They really stepped up and played a vital role in how our team played this year, because they held kids accountable. They worked extremely hard, and the sacrifices they do, I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate them. Our overall record this year was 11-3. We were a semifinalist team. We lost to the eventual state championship, Prescott Curly Wolves. Conference record was 6-1. We were co-conference champions. Individual awards. All conference was Jay Cright. He's at track meet. Jordan Neal. Go ahead and stand. I think it'd be good to see you. Where you at? Deshaun Anderson. These are all our all-conference. O'Shea Pruitt. And Cash Forrester. All right, guys, you can have a seat. Those were you can have a seat. Those were our all-conference players this year. Also, Jordan Neal, you don't have to stand again, but Jordan was also named the Three Rivers Running Back of the Year. So that was a big accomplishment. And he earned it. All-Star, he's not here, but we also have an All-Star for the football team, and that's Jay Cright. Like I said, he's also running for the state right now. All-State, we have one here tonight. I want to give him a certificate. That's Deshaun Anderson. Come forward, Deshaun. Good job, Deshaun. And then lastly, the Coach Bill Keaty Homecoming Award that we give out during homecoming to most outstanding player senior that night was Jay Cright. So Jay also got that. All right, seniors, when I call your name, please stand. This is the senior award. It's voted on by the team with help of the coaches. And it's the senior that some way or another was most not important, but vital in how our team's, our success and really everything that we did. It's the guy that really was a true leader on our team. Deshaun Anderson, Dalton Bennett, Jay Cright, Quavion Harris, Aaron Hill, Josh Lyles, Devontae McCoy, and Jordan Neal. I can't say enough about these seniors. They're really, really, really special to me. And somebody had to get the senior award, obviously, but I can't stress to you guys enough how much you mean to me and what you did this year and how much I appreciate you. And I think all the coaches would say the same. But this year's senior award goes to Jay Cright. All right, guys, y'all sit. Okay. Changing gears, now we're going to go to your the awards on the bottom of your page. And I don't know if you've got if y'all have noticed, but we always go through our regular seat, like our team awards, and at the bottom we always have those that are front and center on the bottom. And those are front and center because they're the most important awards that we can give out at a sports banquet because of the people they represent and the idea that they represent. So understand these next group of awards are not more important, but they're so big in what we do. Justin Brown Award. The Justin Brown Award is the most outstanding lineman in football that displays characteristics of leadership, hard work, and determination that Justin Brown represented. This award goes to a player that was a true leader on the line, that was a true anchor on the offense and defensive line for us this year. Always knew I could trust this individual, and I believed every day that he would give me everything on every snap. This young man showed great leadership and heart in every challenge I laid in front of him. There's two words that I always think of when I think of this award, and this young man encompassed it all. That is determination and trust. I know you could ask any football player, I talk about trust all the time, because if I don't trust you, I'm not going to play you. And this kid has my trust beyond anything as far as a senior. This year's Justin Brown Award goes to Deshaun Anderson. All right, next is the Roy Thomas Award. The Roy Thomas Award is a football player that shows what it means to be a teammate, to show heart, true leadership, work ethic, and do whatever is needed to be done because of what the team needs. This award also represents leadership and heart and how this player led by example and giving everything he had. This player also has the biggest heart and put it on display every day with a smile. I will always remember and respect this young man for the sacrifices that he gave and the heart he showed. He is a great young man that represents our school well and shows every day why he is deserving of this award. The two words that I always think about for this award are heart and sacrifice. And if you know this kid, and if you don't know this kid, meet him before you leave tonight. This year's Roy Thomas Award goes to Devontae McCoy. Okay, at this time, I would like to turn the program over to Ms. Mack and Coach Roger Franks.
It's an honor for me to be here tonight. Thank you for this opportunity. Coach McCrary and I had the privilege to coach with him 3 years. 1 year at Arkansas State, he was a top assistant and I was a graduate assistant, and then 2 years at Grand Canyon University where he was the head coach and I was his assistant. During the 2 years I was there, I guess the second year we signed a player named Horacio Lamas out of Mexico. And Horacio later became the first Hispanic player to play in the NBA. And Coach Mack told everyone that I recruited him, which I was involved in it, but there was no way that he would have come to Grand Canyon without Coach McCrary. But that was just the kind of person Coach was. And as great a coach as he was even a better person. He was a husband, a father, a brother, and a great friend. And the Coach Mack Award is given in honor of Coach Layton McCreary, former teacher and head basketball coach at Newport High School. It recognizes a current student athlete at Newport who is a person of moral character, who also exhibits academic achievement, who conducts himself or herself in a selfless manner by demonstrating caring for teammates and fellow students. It's someone who embraces community, campus, and athletic leadership, who competes with passion and sportsmanship, and who exemplifies loyalty and enthusiasm. The recipient of this award is someone who makes the people around him or her better on and off the court, just like Coach Mack did. Loyal, trustworthy, outstanding were words that consistently came up when describing the recipient. Faculty and staff agree that this student is hardworking, taking care of his or her time to make sure that the work is done well, and rarely complains. This student athlete gets along well with classmates and is willing to help if asked. One teacher said this recipient has the ability to rally people to want to do better. The student athlete is responsible, hardworking, amazing, and kind, constantly smiling and laughing, even during the times when stressed out with schoolwork. The drive for teamwork and winning is apparent on the court, whether playing or in a managerial position, always encouraging the players to try to do better. During their sophomore year, this student was inquisitive about being inducted into the National Honor Society. Well, in March, a dream was realized as she was inducted into the National Honor Society, demonstrating drive and work ethic, and that was something that Coach Mack was truly a fan of. It's with great pleasure, on behalf of the McCreary family and Newport High School, that we present this year's recipient of the Coach Mack Award to Jaden Brown.
Okay, the Charles Ballantyne Award is next. The Charles Ballantyne Award is the most prestigious award a Newport athlete can receive. It is a student athlete that possesses many characteristics, including outstanding character, dependability, perseverance, and work ethic. But above all else is an athlete that has a tremendous attitude towards sports and life itself. This year's Charles Ballantyne Award goes to a great young woman that has shown all of these qualities, especially the drive to compete and the perseverance to achieve the goals she wants to obtain. It is my honor to represent this year's Charles Ballantyne Award to Akeisha Murphy. All right. I didn't know this was going to happen. Where'd he go? You bring your plaque? Yeah. You bring your plaque? No, I'm just kidding. Stand up against that wall. While she's going to try to pull up a picture, and the picture was yesterday. Alden's also in the New Vision, and they had graduation tonight. And, we always do these awards as kind of a secret, try to make it a surprise. And the number one fan is the award we give out last, and it's a community member that just really sacrifices and goes above and beyond what they don't have to do. And there you go. And when I confronted, because I always try to think of sneaky ways to get people here. I didn't know it was going to be hard for him because he's got, he loves that camera. And I told him, I said, out and come take pictures for the sports banquet, real nonchalantly. And he's like, yeah, I will, Coach. I'll be there. Well, the next week at a ball game, he says, I got no vision that night. I'm so apologetic. And then I was like, oh no. So I started running through my head, and I always say these two things: always trust your gut and your wife. So, I went to my wife and asked what needed to be done, and we come to the conclusion that we bring him in front of the kids at school, and that picture is the evidence of what we did yesterday. And we present him with the number one fan award in front of the kids during fifth period. And I'm going to read this out because I want you to hear it. I'm glad you're here, okay? The number one fan award goes to a loyal greyhound that knows how important our hounds are to this community. This individual supports their own, but is a true fan of all the greyhounds. I valued this fan for his loyalty he showed to the school, the coaches, and the players. He always shows a selfless attitude to others, and that is a quality that we all should aim to achieve. This year's award is being given to a true supporter that shows his tremendous heart. I've grown to admire and respect who he is, the time he gave, and the many pictures that truly show the greyhound pride. And I told this in front of the kids yesterday. Rick, you were there. The one thing that if I was going to label Alton Walker, it's selfless. Everything he did was on his own time, and what he did is for us this year is something that I can't ever repay out. And so, number one fan, Alton Walker. Okay, at this time, I would like to bring up Miss Lacey Schultz to read our Love of the Game point.
Love the game. Love the game. Love the game. Okay. Love the game for the pure joy of accomplishment. Love the game for everything it can teach you about yourself. Love the game for the feeling of the belonging to a group endeavoring to do its best. Love the game for the challenge of working harder than you ever have at something and then harder than that. Love the game because at its best, the game tradition will include your contribution. Love the game because you belong to a long line of fine athletes who loved it. It is now your legacy. Love the game so much that you will pass your love of the game to another athlete who has your dedication, your work, your challenges, your triumphs, and then that athlete will, because of you, love the game.
Thank you, Lacey. All right, in closing tonight, let me first thank the Greyhound Booster Club and Miss Lisa and Malcolm for everything that they did in helping us out tonight. Also, the senior boards that are against the wall are for you, so please find them when you leave. Those are yours to keep. I also would like to thank Aramark and the cafeteria staff for helping cook the food tonight, as well as the junior high cheerleaders who served us tonight. And then lastly, on behalf of the coaches, thank you for coming out tonight to celebrate these student athletes and their accomplishments this year. We hope to see you all next year in supporting the Greyhounds. And I also want to say, the best thing, and I want to tell you now, and I'll sit down. The best thing I really like about this night is it's really positive. A lot of things can be negative, and we kind of dwell on negativity. So, the great thing about this tonight is how positive it's been, and I appreciate that. We shared the love, and I really do appreciate that. So, I always look forward to this night just because it's so positive, and that's the most important thing, and that's awesome. So thank you for coming. Good night, and go Hounds.